A dedicated sheriff's deputy.
The people of Cobb County lost a dedicated servant.
A dedicated husband and father.
Marshall was the greatest man I've ever known.
And a dedicated fisherman.
He lived for two things as far as I could see. He lived for his family and their softball games, and he lived for fishing.
Gone too soon, killed in the line of duty.
So please understand that this loss is impacting us in ways I can't comprehend right now.
Today, our community says goodbye to Deputy Marshal Ervin Jr. This is the second day the Cobb County community has honored two of its fallen deputies.
Yeah, this is a really tough week for everyone. So today, a memorial for Deputy Marshal Ervin Jr. He served 10 years on the force, and today family and friends and co-workers saying their final goodbyes. 11 Alive's Joe Ripley begins our team coverage tonight. Joe.
Good evening. During today's service, those who knew Deputy Marshal Ervin Jr. best described him as a loving father, a faithful husband, and a law enforcement officer focused on community service.
This loss is impacting us in ways I can't comprehend right now.
Friends, co-workers, and those who knew Cobb County Deputy Marshal Ervin Jr. best say his life was defined by service, love, and loyalty.
Don't forget what he wanted from us, and that was just to be a good friend and to love each and every one of us as well as he could.
Ervin lost his life alongside his fellow deputy Deputy Koleski while trying to serve a warrant at a Cobb County home in the Hampton Glen neighborhood last Thursday. Lieutenant Christopher Leger says family came first for Ervin. The 38-year-old leaves behind his wife Jody and two young daughters. During Ervin's memorial, Pastor Brian Bloy read a letter from his wife.
His loyalty was unmatched to me, to his friends, and to his job.
Then came a promise to Ervin's family from Cobb County Sheriff Craig Owens.
We will be there to support you. Together, we become strong in broken places.
A family 100 strong say their final goodbyes to a husband, father, and friend. Ervin graduated from East Paulding High School, where he met his wife, Jody. He loved fishing, being outside, and playing guitar, but most of all, Ervin loved his family.
Joe, it's been a very emotional 2 days for so many people who loved and knew these deputies. Was there anything specific that stood out to you from the services today?
You know, the love for his family. So much over the last week we've heard about his service in law enforcement, but today you really got to see just how much Ervin loved his family. He would never miss a softball game. One of his young girls had two of them, as well as his wife Jody. They would have these cheese dances where they'd go to the kitchen and eat cheese slices and then do a little dance. Just goes to show you just how much of a faithful husband and father, loving father he was.
Yeah, absolutely. He is going to be missed. Thanks a lot, Joe. By the way, the funeral procession for Deputy Ervin stretched for miles.
Our Paola Sura was along that route. She joins us live on Dixie Highway tonight. Paola.
Yeah, guys, first responders from across Georgia took part in the procession, and you know what? It was a similar representation of people along Dixie Highway, hundreds lined up here, all with different backgrounds, different experiences, and reasons as to why they wanted to be out here today, but all with the same purpose, to honor Deputy Marshal Ervin Jr. From those in law enforcement.
Finding out that two of your own Cobb County deputies have lost their lives, it's just gut-wrenching. There's no other feeling.
To U.S. veterans.
It gets close to home because, you know, I have a towing service myself, so we're out here on the side of the road doing work, you know, helping the public just like they are, so they need more respect for what they do.
And those just trying to teach their children a valuable lesson in moments of heartache.
It's good to see the community still being willing to come out, take their time aside to say thank you.
Hundreds came out to pay their respects to Deputy Marshal Ervin Jr.
It hits deep, and you know, I worked in the courts for a little bit where Deputy Ervin, he would sit up front, and every day he was there, he always made sure he spoke. Always, you know, hope you have a good day.
To the DeBoard family, this procession has deeper meaning. Ira's father is also a Cobb County Sheriff's deputy, and he responded to the call Thursday night when Deputy Ervin was killed.
That's the scary part about it, because they did nothing wrong. And that could have been my dad. Just never know.
That's why he stands here next to his mother, united in the same feeling.
Keep law enforcement on your mind every day, because they're out there 24/7 and they go through a lot. Just remember the families and what they go through every day.
Now, the procession started around 4 o'clock, but people started lining up just around 3, and it lasted around 45 minutes. But you know what? They tell me that they will remember this day, as well as Deputy Ervin, forever. Guys?
Yeah, we all will. Thanks a lot, Paula. By the way, the services for Deputy Ervin came just one day after the funeral for Deputy Jonathan Koleski. They both died. They were killed in the line of duty on September 8th. Now, he served with the department for 15 years, starting with the Cobb County Sheriff's Office in 2007. Koleski was 42 years old, a U.S. Army veteran, also airborne as well, deploying in 3 different tours. This is both in Iraq and Afghanistan. He was a young husband, loved by many, and that was clear during his funeral service on Wednesday when his sister Megan gave us an insight into who he was.
Thank you for a childhood filled with laughter and inside jokes, and being my protector, for being my first best friend.
I love you. And I'll take the watch from here for our family.
Deputy Koleski was buried yesterday in Georgia National Cemetery with full military honors.